Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Music Village. And apparently, according to the maestro from that last segment, we showed a little bit too much favoritism toward Karrion Kross and his match that's taking place this Sunday. And to answer back to that, maestro, no, we're not showing favoritism to a man who won the most interesting person of 2018 and 19, any form of favoritism whatsoever. And just in case he's listening, good luck in your match. And alongside with that, so I don't get dive bombed on my head like the maestro might, I think it's time for us to go ahead and check out some cool games from a planet far away and from the Steam machine as well for another edition of the Friday Night Greenlight. And I got a feeling he's listening in, maestro, so if he comes after you, that's on you. That's all on you. But besides that, folks, to the games. And the first game that we have up, which comes from the developer Ben Lunato with his said game, Chalice. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of not only an off-air sketch that would take place during Adult Swim, but a little hint of the Twilight Zone, the Outer Limits, and I think a splash in there of some of the midway segments from the Upright Citizens Brigade. And here's hoping in the near future for this game that you don't end up getting stuck in this world. Cause I got a feeling you're trapped in some form of alternative dimension that you may have to escape from. According to the maestro, you're just a door-to-door salesman in Oklahoma that sells faces. Right, no alternate dimension, right? I don't believe that. And besides being stuck in a classic episode of The Outer Limits, folks, the next game that we have up comes from the developers Pocket Pair Inc. with their set game, Craftopia. That sounds like a very beautiful place that's in some far-off island distances away from here, somewhere near Fiji. And according to the maestro, it's not, and this game automatically reminds me of a combination of Quest for Camelot with a little hint of the game Robots, or more or less the movie Robots, with a splash in there of Fusion Fall too. And here's hoping in the near future for this game is that they allow you to craft your own airplanes, boats, and even cars that you get a chance to use during this set game. And according to the maestro, with it being on a giant oversized island, why would you need a car? Well, you need to get to point A to point B somehow, and I got a feeling with that giant oversized dragon, planes might be a little bit dangerous and out of the question to use. But then again, what if you could use the dragon? Yeah, that would be a pretty cool source of transportation, flying a dragon. I can see it now. But before I go into another one of my daydreams of me riding a giant oversized dragon, folks, the next game that we have up comes from the developers Space Crab Labs. Nice developer name, by the way, with their set game, Sprocket Rocket Rumble. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of Gang Beads with a little hint of Bomberman if it had rockets in it. Wouldn't that make it Rocket Man, maestro? Yeah, burning out his fuse up here alone. But before I start singing that Elton John song, here's hoping in the near future that you get a chance to get different forms of power-ups to try to take out your opponents, or a super attack that allows you to take out the whole field if your meter reaches a certain limit. And according to the maestro, that could be possible. Well, if they make that in the game, well, here's hoping they also add a chance for you to build your own levels too. Because I can imagine a couple of you independent gamers out there coming up with something absolutely crazy for them. And speaking of absolutely crazy inventions that a couple of you independent gamers may have already came out with, the next game that we have up comes from the developers Free Jam with their game RoboCraft. And this game automatically reminds me of that one Lego game I played when I was in, I do believe, 6th grade. That was actually just called Lego. Yeah, that's what this reminds me of, with a little hint of the way things work with the invention vehicles that I used to make it back in the day too. And there's nothing really I can hope for this game, because I saw a dinosaur with a Gatling gun on its back, and I do believe a flying vehicle that looks like a dreadnought from Kingdom Hearts. So here's hoping in the near future that you get a chance to actually post a couple of these crazy vehicles online to a couple of your friends. And according to the Maestro, you have that as well. Well, alright. There's nothing more I can say about this game. And the next game that we have up comes from the creators Blowfish Studios, nice name by the way, with their said game, Gunscape. And this game automatically reminds me of, I guess, a little hint of Quake, with a splash in there of an episode of Stargate, and a little hint of Mummies Alive in there since it's in Egypt. Even though Maestro said it was based in San Francisco, I'm still going with Mummies Alive. And here's hoping in the near future for this game that they allow you to create your own guns during this said game, including rail guns, rocket launchers, shotguns, and any sort of gun you could possibly think of in that mind of yours. And one gun I think I'm going to create, if it's available in this game, is a 16-barrel shotgun. And before anybody thinks I've lost my mind with that, they came up with a 4-barrel shotgun in the world of Resident Evil. So nothing's too out of the ordinary when it comes to custom weapons. And the last but not least game that we have up for this week comes from the itch.io page of Evilian, Yeah, Evilian, with their said game, Nite. And this game automatically reminds me of a outer space version of Jalopy, since it takes place on Mars, with a little hint of vacation in there as well. And here's hoping in the near future for this game that they allow you to customize your car just like you would in Jalopy, and even get some alien technology along with it, like the ability for your car to hover. Because I know there's at least 1 or 2 Martians out there on that planet that can actually help you out to turn your car into something from out of the Jetsons. Or better yet, turn the car like something from the Jetsons where it would fit in the suitcase. That would be weird if it was in that game too. And if you guys want to go ahead and check out some other cool and crazy games that comes from a planet that's not too far away from here, but yet far enough that you need a telescope to see it, you can head on over to the Free Game Planet page of freegameplanet.com and just check out a whole bunch of games that were beamed down here as of last night. As a matter of fact, I think we helped them unpack. And if you also want to check out any other crazy and zany games that are coming through the Steam machine via the cargo ship, cargo plane, or subterranean train that is currently rumbling underneath your toes, you can head on over to the store.steampower page, only known as store.steampower.com, and just click ever so lightly on that Indy button, as well as clicking on that upcoming button as well, to check out a whole bunch of cool games that will make you feel like you're in a real-life action movie, whether it's based in the 80s, 90s, 90s, or even the 2020s, where it feels like a real-life action movie all the time, with explosions that'll happen at any moment. Good job, Maestro. Right on time. And I guess with that said, folks, we might as well head back into the music, and when we return, we'll be back with yet another new DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories right after this. So don't get caught in traffic just yet, folks, and stay tuned.